I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up, matter what, told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up.
Hello, Incarceration to Incorporate. This is Marie coming to your hearing, and go ahead, Meko.
What's up, Savannah? Listen, this your boy, Julius Campbell. We are back. Marie Jones and myself, Ain't the Ink, Incarceration to Incorporation, every Friday at 6 o'clock. Listen, we got an awesome show for you tonight because we want to educate and update you on the things that we got going on right now. But before we even get into that, we want to give a shout out to OAA, Marie, which stands for
Offenders Alumni Association, where we come to empower, encourage, and educate, because none of us can do it alone, not one of us. And we use this platform for you to share your stories, for it to be safe. Julius Campbell.
And I love that, your stories matter. Just like Marie's story and my story, we both have a common denominator. And that common denominator is lived experience. Both of us have been incarcerated at one time in our lives. Marie will share her length of time, as well as I myself, after 26 years of incarceration. But after we got out, now Incorporation, we are out providing platforms for other people to share their stories, because like she says, stories matter. When you recognize that Marie succeeded and that I succeeded, that would encourage you to know that you too can succeed. Why? Because we all believe in success, which means we are successful organizationally, we are successful occupationally, we are successful educationally, and we are successful relationally. Your success may look different than mine, but at least we are changing the negative narrative. And what is that negative narrative? That when somebody gets out of prison, they are automatically going right back. That word is recidivism. That is the tendency for a convicted felon to reoffend. But Marie and I have broken that mold. We have changed that negative narrative. Marie, how long has it been that you have been out?
19 years.
19 years. And myself, now I've been out over 5 years. They say 3 years and you'll be returning, but we have broken that mold. And that is why we are here today, because we want you to know that we did it. You can do it also. Marie, give shouts out to those that have given us this platform.
Yes, I would like to give a shout out to Mr. Julius Hall for giving us the safe space to share our stories, and the brainchild, Mr. Alexander. What we call him? He haven't been on in a while, but Mr. Alexander, he's a brilliant young man. That's that way. He was in North Carolina, but now he's in Atlanta. He moved to Atlanta to take, and he got 3 stores. So he's doing phenomenal. He can share his story. He was incarcerated and came home. He have a lawn service and 3 clothing stores. So he is doing phenomenal. He came up with this platform right here, Incarceration to Incorporate. So I would like to say thank you, AB, for this platform, to giving us for us so we can share our stories. Mr. Julius Hall and AB.
Amen. Thank you, brother. Listen, I think I'm at church. Amen. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to you boys. Listen, why are we here? Tonight, we are going to update you and we're going to educate you. What I mean when I say update you, we have an event that's getting ready to come out. That event is called the Community Conversation, a town hall at 8011 Waters Avenue. Ms. Jones is going to read all the information on the flyer that lets you know the telephone number that you can call. But why are we doing this? And what are we doing specifically? Marie, you want to share?
I want to share this specifically. I love the 3 questions that I want to ask Julius Campbell, right? And it is the town hall meeting is a conversation that needs to be had, because we are defining police arrest practices, showing that the officers have to have a way to even to communicate when they get ready to arrest somebody, how to treat people and not dehumanize. Is that a word, Mr. Julius Campbell?
That's correct.
He's very good in words. And then the next one is humanize approaches to offense and offenders. So, just don't think of me as like I'm a table or something, or I am a person and you should treat me as such. Because may I say one thing, because to go to prison is just not for me and Julius Campbell. An officer can be arrested also, and he will want to be treated like a human being and not like he's just an animal. That's how they try to treat offenders sometimes. And I'm not saying all officers, but some of them. And to prevent undue incarceration. Now that's what I really want. They want to prevent undue incarcerations. So I really think you all should come out October the 30th at 8011 Waters Avenue. The time is 6 to 8. So you come in, share your stories. If you don't want to share your story, to sit down and to gather the information to take and to hear, because people have Coco Pappy, she have took and put together what the deep organization to take and get this great information that we need. So, if you've never been incarcerated, excuse me, Meko, if you've never been incarcerated and you have a loved one that has been incarcerated, please come out and to listen and to give your opinion or to ask questions.
You did a wonderful job of improvising and sharing what we're going to talk about tonight. And I want you to hit those 3 key points for me one more time. But before you do that, let me talk a little bit about educating our community. There are so many people who have been complaining about situations, but not have been educated with solutions. Let me say that again. They have been complaining about situations and circumstances, but they neglect to educate themselves on solutions. We are not about murmuring and complaining anymore. That is why we have opened these doors and invited the community to be able to talk about some of the circumstances and the issues that's plaguing our community, especially our Black and brown community. So as she stated, October the 30th, you are invited here at 8011 Waters Avenue. We want to talk about what we can do to change incarceration. So, Marie, let's hit the 3rd point first, and then we'll work our way up. Read it out to me.
It says prevent undue incarceration. That is the 3rd one, Meko. And the
prevent undue incarceration. What do we mean by that? Well, let me just share a little bit about this, what we're talking about. It is called the Pre-Arrest Diversion Program. Pre-arrest diversion program. How do we prevent undue incarceration? Well, let's just say that you are out drinking. We're talking about minimal crimes. We're not talking about those heinous or severe crimes, but those misdemeanor. That's what we're talking about. Let's say you're out and you've drunk too much or what have you, and now you've gotten arrested. Well, you know the drill. You get arrested, you go down to the jail, and then they book you, they fingerprint you. Now you got to go through the bonding process. You may lose your job because you missed the next day at work. Well, what this pre-arrest diversion program does, it allows you to do something other than, alternatives is the word, other than incarceration. What that does, there is a program that you can become a part of that will help you to stay away from all those other issues, fingerprinting, booking, and bail, and all of that. That's why it's called the pre-arrest diversion. Now, I don't want to go all the way in depth because I want you to come out and hear more details about what this particular program can do. But one thing I know it does do, it does prevent incarceration or undue incarceration. We've been talking about mass incarceration for many years now, haven't we, Marie?
Yes, we have.
Well, this is an opportunity for us to tackle mass incarceration with this pre-arrest diversion program. So would you come out October the 30th and hear more about this particular program? And when you get the understanding, you can go back and you can educate other people. Marie, what's the second one?
The second one is humanized approaches to offenses and offenders.
We want to humanize. Now, I love the way you say that. So often when we talk about men and women that have been incarcerated, we dehumanize them. I myself was incarcerated for 26 years. While I was there, I was a number. They stripped me of my name. I had a number. That's just a part of the dehumanization of incarceration. Well, what we want to do is change that approach. And if we change that approach, then we can begin to change how we identify people. Then you'll begin to change how you deal with people. And so that's something that we want to talk about in our community town hall as well. How do we humanize people? Not just offenders. We got these different names that they call them, but they're still people. Let's not strip them of their identity. Let us begin to try to work this situation out so that we can keep humanizing people. Go ahead.
Okay, Meko, can I read this? It say we examine offenses that might be eligible for diversion, generally involving crimes against property. They include but are not limited to like disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, misdemeanor thefts, underage possession of alcohol, possession of drugs and paraphernalia, and obstruction by fleeing, giving false information, and affray. So
wait a minute.
Those
now,
kind of,
let me interrupt you, Marie.
We're going to be talking about.
Let me, because I want you to reread that list. What she's reading is these are the offenses that will be eligible for the pre-arrest diversion program. As we stated before, not violent crimes, but listen as she reads off this list one more time. Go ahead, Marie, take your time.
Okay. The crimes, they include but are not limited to disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, misdemeanor theft, underage alcohol, underage drinking, underage possession of alcohol, like I said, possession of drugs and paraphernalia, and obstruction by fleeing, giving false information, and affray.
Affray. The word affray, it means to fight in public. That's what affray means. And again, October the 30th, you come out to 8011 Waters Avenue, and we will give you meticulous information on all of these things. But again, what is the purpose? The purpose is to prevent undue incarceration. This can help people to keep their jobs, help people to not have to lose everything by going to get arrested. Marie, I want to make sure you are aware of our time so that we can share a few messages. But if we still have more time, you can continue.
Okay, and then that's the only, those are the ones, Meko, that they have listed here on this list that I'm looking at. Now, is this the listing, like the listing when we took and Coco them had the meeting in the barbershop?
Yes, that is the list. When she says barbershop, what we had a few months ago is we had another community town hall, if you will, at a barbershop. And the reason why we did that is because we want to take this information into the community. We want to educate our society. And so we came together as one in this barbershop, and we was able to discuss this pre-arrest diversion program. And the list that she just read was just some of the crimes or some of the penalties that are acceptable or eligible for this particular program.
And which is really good, because when we were in the barbershop, which is Meko, he took and explained to y'all a meeting that we had a couple of months ago. Meko, we're gonna have to take a break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, my friend, your Savannah homeboy, Clarence Thomas, made sure that I don't go to prison.
So Julius is in there talking to Trump. Ooh, I'm telling.
Welcome back to Incarceration to Incorporation. I love the break that we just had, because if Julius is talking to Trump, I'm telling too. But anyway,
Hey, let's qualify. What Julius are they talking about? That's not Julius County.
I'm talking about Julius Hall, not Julius. So, but Julius. Back to what we were saying about the town hall meeting that's going to be at 8011 Waters Avenue. You want to say something, Julius?
No, you were right on point. We just want to remind the people we are back, and Marie Jones and Julius Campbell, Ink to Ink. And what we're doing in this segment is we are educating and updating our community about what's getting ready to take place on October the 30th. That is a Wednesday. At 8011 Waters Avenue from 6 to 8. This is a community conversation, a town hall meeting, if you will. And we're talking specifically about the pre-arrest diversion program. We were speaking of 3 specific points. Marie, would you read those 3 specific points again so that we can begin to bring the people in on the same page?
Yes, it's a community conversation. It's on redefine police arrest practices. It's humanize approaches to offense and offenders, and prevent undue incarceration. And Julius was just explaining, just giving briefly the synopsis. That's what can we call it that, Julius? Is that right?
That's it. That's it.
Anyway, he was giving a summary, people, of the 3 questions that are going to be talked about at our town hall meeting. And then I was saying before we went to break that disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, and misdemeanor theft is a diversion. And he was explaining what that meant. And when I said, when we went to break, I was talking about the barbershop, a meeting that we had a couple of months ago, because Meko, if it was from our understanding, those misdemeanors, people had to stay in jail, but they took it, made a diversion where they don't have to stay in jail now. If you get a felony and you go to jail, you have to go before a judge. And they were saying some of the misdemeanor charges, if you commit a certain misdemeanor charge, you have to go in front of a judge. So is that still accurate?
What we want to do is we want the people to come out so they can hear accurately and meticulously everything they need to know about this particular project or program. So what we're doing now is just laying the groundwork for an educational period. But I do want us to go to the first point, because you've already read out some of the minor offenses that are eligible for this particular pre-arrest diversion program. But now we want people to come out and talk about this, especially the number 1. Read what you're going to say on that first point.
Number 1, you talking about redefine police arrest practices?
Redefine police arrest practices. We have been complaining about that for ages. Why are police doing the things that they're doing? We want to redefine it. And in redefining it, that is humanizing people. And as you begin to humanize people, then the approach police have to people will change. And so I believe that if we come together, we can not just complain, but we can create conversation that will bring about change. Boy, I like that. Let me say that again. That rhyme. Did you hear me? We don't want to come together. We don't want to come together to complain. What we want to do is have a community conversation that will bring about a change. What do you think about that, Marie?
I really now may I read this, Meko? I hope this is
Yes.
good. The Savannah Impact Program, right? The Savannah Impact Program is designed to function as a collaborative unit that works with local agencies, right? So is that the part of them refining police arrest practices, Meko? When they say it's designed to function as a collab with different agencies and service provided to facilitate relationship building and developing opportunities for the community.
Well, we want to invite them out, right? Because listen, you want to have not just the community talking about redefining policing, but you want to have some polices out also to hear our voice. So I believe that that is something we do. We are inviting everyone to the table, because how else can we bring about change on all parties unless all parties are there to be represented?
I so agree. And I think if we can have the chief of police there, and not just the chief of police, have the officers that are on the street who deal with the people from day to day, and they hear our input and we hear their input, then I think that a change can come about. What do you think, Julius?
I agree wholeheartedly, because again, we can't just keep talking. We must start walking together. And so that is why we are bringing together the first of two. We're going to have two, the first of two community conversations, town hall meetings here at 8011 Waters Avenue. First, I want you to come out, share your story. Then as you share your story, how are you relevant? How do you relate to this specific situation? And then as you share, you can share some helpful solutions. But before you can share anything, you must first listen. And that's why we're inviting you out to this listening session, so that you can be educated and then go out and educate your community. I want you to tell everybody. I want you to tell the barbers. I want you to also talk to the faith-based organization. I want you to talk to nonprofits, reentry organizations. I want you to talk to mentors. I want you to talk to justice-impacted people. We invite each of you out because you have a stake in this, a vested interest in this.
You know what, Meko, I like what you said, to talk to everybody. That's like connecting the dots, as you know, as you always say, because if you reach one, then you can teach one. I would like, and the mental health community need to also come and be involved in how the police take and even deal with people who are mental health. And the reason why that is so important to me is, like, I have a son who's autistic, and so maybe he won't take direction. If a police was to stop him, would take direction as Julius and I would. So I think that they need education and also in that. So I think this town hall meeting is very, very, very important, people. And we can't stop emphasizing 8011 Waters Avenue on Wednesday from 6 to 8. Now, just like Meko said, we're not talking about it. We are being about it. You all ask questions. Well, how can we find out this information? How can we find out that information? Well, here it is. We're giving you the information, and it is free to the public. So tell your auntie, tell your cousin, tell your brother, tell them so they can come out and get educated. Julius?
Listen, I love that, Marie. And I want to definitely give shouts out to Deep Center, Coco Pappy, and others who have collabed with OAA. We're not doing this alone. There's a collaboration of organizations who care about our community. And so Coco Pappy has helped us to bring this issue to the forefront. Deep Center has collabed with OAA, Offender Alumni Association, and we are on the platform of All Things Relevant Media. Why? Because this is important to us. This needs to go out into our communities so that we can change things. And I know I don't want to continue to just complain. I want to do some changing. What about you, Marie?
I want the change to really come about. It's very imperative and very important that our kids, especially our children, y'all know that's my week, that's my passion. Our children have changed. If they see that the adults are changed, a chain reaction. If you see a good example at home, a good example in your community, then you got to have the good example. It trickles down. But if all I see is negative, what you're going to get? You're going to get a negative. You don't get a positive from a negative. So we're not just talking about it. We're being about it. We want to be effective in our community, going out, reaching one, teaching one. So people come out to 8011 Waters Avenue on Wednesday, 6 to 8. 6 to 8. It's not that long. You sit there. If you don't want to speak, you can sit there and you can just listen and take notes. What do you say, Julius Campbell?
I want to share this, Marie, and again, keep me abreast of our next break time.
Yes, sir.
But I want to share this. I was talking to a group of reentry organizers, and I was talking to a group of grassroots nonprofits, and we were sharing that this is needed, this is necessary, because the mass incarceration has been an issue for as long as I've known it to be. And how else can we begin to make this a priority? We can begin to change these things. We can help. This pre-arrest diversion program has the potential to slice or cut in half or prevent, if you will, undue incarceration. So what we're asking right now, and Marie will have this up on Facebook, and you can share this with others. Now, we don't want to come out here arguing. We don't want to come out here hollering. We want to come out and we want to have a educated, informed conversation about a program that can benefit all of our community. If that's what you want to do, come on out. We'll make sure that your voice is heard. We've been trying to talk to as many people as we can who will be articulate and who will be engaging and who will also be intentional about going out and getting this message to the masses. So again, faith-based organizations, again, nonprofit, grassroots, those of you that's in the trenches, we want to help change things. And Marie, one other thing I want to say, what Ms. Jones and I, what we do is we have mentoring programs, but who do we use when we are doing these mentoring programs? We use justice impacted adults, and these justice impacted adults are sharing their stories with our young people, because who better to share how to get out of a situation, how to change, than someone who has gone down that same path? Well, Marie and I are working on both sides of the fence. We want to prevent incarceration, but we also want to help to educate those on incarceration. So don't just keep talking about it. Would you come 8011 Waters Avenue? Would you come October the 30th to this town hall meeting? Would you come and also tell someone else to come, so that we can stop complaining and start bringing about solutions? Would you agree with me, Ms. Jones?
I solely agree. And I want to say this. Meko is so humble. He's saying it's so nice. Would you come? Would you come? Now, listen, I know events like this, and seriously, events like this cost money. Events like this cost money. And I'm talking about to have people, the speakers to come in, cost money. All of this is free to the public. You don't have to pay anything. And it's only 2 hours of your time. At time, this is great, good information, because if you have not been affected by incarceration, I'm sure you know somebody that has. And I like what Julia said too about the youth, how we try to prevent them from even going down the path that we went down. If we can prevent that, that's even better. That's even better. We have a mentor program. Julius came up with a great idea, verbal and visual, where we are connecting the dots. OAA Offenders Alumni is connecting the dots with verbal and visual, trying to help our youth, to help them to build even with Tyro, that's character building skills, to try to teach them to be good women and good men that are growing up in this community. So we can teach them, teach one, reach one, then they can teach their friends and they can go back and get what they learned. But I heard a woman told me, she said, Marie, she said, that's great what you all are doing for the kids, but maybe we should start sometimes with the parents. so that they can learn also. It's nothing wrong with you have to unlearn and relearn sometimes. We have to take a break right now, and we'll be back in just a second. Hello. Welcome back to Incarceration to Incorporate with me and Julius Campbell. We are here sharing the town hall meeting discussion that is taking place at 8011 Waters Avenue on October the 30th from 6 to 8. And we were just going on some of the things that are going to question that are going to be answered, like redefine police arrest practices, humanize approaches to offense and offenders, and prevent undue incarceration. That's what we were speaking on, and that's what we are asking for you all to come out and be a part of, again, at 8011 Waters Avenue on October the 30th at 6 o'clock. Mr. Campbell?
Listen, you've done a wonderful job. I tell you, listen, you just need to go ahead and go to WTOC and make this thing happen. Hey, Savannah, would you be a part of this community conversation? Stop complaining and start communicating so that we can make some changes. We already want to change this negative narrative. Marie Jones and myself, along with Julius Hall, collabing with Deep Center and Coco Pep, we are making a difference. We are trying to educate so that we can change some things, but we can't do it without our community. So that's why we're here today, this Friday, while we are on this air right now, to let you know that there is something you can do. You can engage. You can begin to participate. You can make a difference in your community on how things begin to play out with mass incarceration. Listen, Marie, I just want to close out by letting the people know that we appreciate them so much for this period of time that they have given it to us. What Marie Jones and I do, along with other grassroots nonprofit organizations, is we want to make a difference in our community. It is one person at a time, whether it's a justice impacted adult or a justice impacted youth. Whatever we can do to change that negative narrative, we invite you to do it. Listen, I always say something when I get ready to close out, and it is this. Check me out. I may have started out wrong, but look at me now.
That's right.
I'm finishing strong. You have an opportunity to leave a legacy, a lasting legacy in your community. Would you not do it? Thank you, and I appreciate you. Marie, close us out.
Yes, I would like to piggyback off Mr. Julius Campbell and just like to say thank you all for listening. Come out October the 30th from 6 to 8, where 8011 Waters Avenue, where great information is going to be handed out to you. Come and be a listener. Come get the information that you may need. And it is for free, ladies and gentlemen. Spread the word. Teach one, reach one. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Like this.